You know the drill. It's Monday morning. It's time for another weekly reading update. First up is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This is the first book in the Wheel of Time series. This is yet another reread for me. I decided since Amazon's putting out a show, I might need to refresh my memory on a few things so I can be that book snob that points out all the things that they did wrong on the show. It's been about 10 years since I've last read the series through. There are so many things that I have forgotten that it has just been an absolute joy to rediscover and refresh. Let's see, I'm on chapter 20, so 294 pages in, thoroughly enjoying every page. I know a lot of people don't like how descriptive Robert Jordan is. I happen to love it. Now that is not a writing style that I typically favor, but for some reason with Robert Jordan, I don't hold that against him. I don't know if it's just that he is able to be overly descriptive in an entertaining fashion. As long as I'm entertained, I'm not bored or complaining. It's Robert Jordan. I can sit here and make excuses for him all day long. I'm still working on the Way of Kings reread with the hashtag Stormalong 2020 crew. The reread for this book's gonna span over June and July. So the schedule for the reread is on Christy Lewis's channel, Okay, I cannot say it. It will be on the screen for you. I'll also put a link to her channel so you can see the schedule. And what I did is I just took her schedule for when the live shows are and what's to be discussed, looked at the chapters, divided the pages up and said, okay, this is how many pages I need to read per day. So I don't want to get ahead of the group, and I want to have it all fresh in my mind, and I don't want to go past what she said because I'll probably accidentally discuss it and nobody else has gotten that far, because there are a lot of people who are reading it for the first time. But yeah, another one I'm thoroughly enjoying. There are so many things I missed the first time I read this book. So I have like 3 pages of notes in my notebook already, and I'm only like 190 pages in. And while we were talking about Sanderson, Brandon Sanderson shared on his Instagram last week that his very first graphic novel will be published at the end of the month. Of course, I followed the link and pre-ordered it immediately and got a whole bunch of cool stuff for pre-ordering it. Originally, it was going to connect into the Cosmere, but he ended up changing his mind about that. It doesn't matter. It has his name on it. I had to have it. Guys, it finally happened. I was finally able to pick up the 4th and final book in the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne, which is Rath. Let's see, I'm 238 pages in, and it is everything. I regret waiting so long between Ruin and Rath. It was a huge mistake. I literally should have picked up this book immediately upon finishing Ruin, just like I did with Ruin when I finished Valor. So, all of these past few weeks where I've been like, oh my gosh, I just can't bring myself to go on, I just haven't gotten over it. Don't do that. All of you who have started this series because you've been listening to me run my mouth about it, don't make that mistake. When you finish Ruin, you need to have this one immediately on deck because it is life. Oh my gosh, it is everything. It is everything. Of course, I'm not done with it, so there's about 400 pages left that John Gwynne can really just hurt me deep, but I've got hope, okay? Next up is Grave Peril by Jim Butcher. I'm listening to this one in the audiobook format. I am very upset for a couple of reasons. 1, I'm upset I waited until recently to get into audiobooks, and 2, because James Marsters is the best narrator in the world. This man is amazing. He has totally changed my experience for the Dresden Files, which is freaking awesome. I mean, it's a series that I absolutely love. So it's a reread. Okay, well, so I'll be honest with you. With the Dresden Files books, they're not so packed with information and overly complicated. I have found that I didn't miss a whole lot. A lot of times when I do a reread, like with The Way of Kings, I missed so much information. I'm finding with the Dresden Files, that's not the case. So that's cool. The reread in that aspect isn't as entertaining because I'm not finding little gems that I missed. But doing the reread in a different version, such as audiobook, changed everything. James Marsters brings this story to life in a way that I have not yet discovered from another narrator. Every single audiobook I've listened to have had amazing narrators, but he is just in a league all his own. So while we're on the subject of Jim Butcher, I spent the majority of last week literally in the clouds because, as a lot of you are aware, I recently did a Dresden Files prediction bingo video. I'll throw it up here for you in case you missed it, but I feel like everybody has seen it by now. But don't watch it if you're not current on the books because there are spoilers involved. I'm still new to all this stuff. I'm still new to editing and techniques and different things like that. That video was very complicated for me. It had a huge learning curve for me. I did a whole bunch of stuff I'd never done before. It literally took me 12 hours start to finish to get that one up. And when you spend that long on a project, you doubt yourself. You're like, I worked so hard on it. What if nobody watches it? What if nobody likes it? And then you watch it and you're like, oh man, I made all these little mistakes. I forgot to say all of these cool, funny things that I had. Well, it was up for about a week and Priscilla Spencer commented on it. I literally don't know how she found the video. I have no idea. I mean, I did not tag anybody. I mean, I literally have no idea how she came across it. She was so sweet and she commented on it, and that was the first thing that sent me over the moon. It's like, you know, Priscilla is the one who cast, film, directed the trailer for Peace Talks and Battleground that everybody who's a Dresden fan has seen probably 20 or 30 times by now, because I know I had to watch it 3 or 4 times in a row, just speechless, and to make sure I caught everything, just because the hype is so real for Peace Talks. Y'all have been hearing me talk about Peace Talks since I started my channel, literally. So after that, my buddy Steven shared the link on the Dresden Files Reddit, and my views literally doubled overnight. That just really sent me over. Fast forward to this week. I'm sitting at my desk back there editing a video. I got to a good stopping point because it was time for my afternoon cup of coffee, and I noticed I had a notification from Jim Butcher News on Twitter. I don't have a whole lot of Twitter notifications turned on, but News at Jim Butcher is one that I do simply because there has been so many cool things that they have tweeted about that I saw fast enough that I got to be a part of, like the con edition of Stormfront. News Jim Butcher tweeted about it. I saw it immediately and got my copy. So I'm about to go make my afternoon cup of coffee, and I see that I have a notification, and I was like, oh, I need to check this out. It was really funny because I saw the title of the tweet for the link to Jim Butcher's website. It was like, oh, 35 days until Peace Talks, 111 days to Battleground, and then it said Dresden Prediction Bingo. And I was like, oh, they're gonna do it too, because I'm an idiot. Well, I clicked the link to go to the website, and the first thing I was like looking for was chapter 2 of Peace Talks. And then the first thing on the page was James Marsters. Everybody was asking at that Zoom, at Penguin's Zoom between Rothfuss and Butcher, was, hey, is James Marsters gonna do the audiobook? And at that point, Jim was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they've been in contacts with him, but I can't confirm. And so the first thing on the page was James Marsters like, hey guys, what's up? I'm recording Peace Talks right now. I know how it's gonna end. So I'm scrolling down to get to chapter 2 of Peace Talks, and I see my video. I was like, what? Like, I just can't explain to you what that does to a person, and I won't cry. They were like, oh, we just love the Nerdy Narratives adorable little video with her prediction bingo game, and they made a challenge out of it. They're like, hey, we want y'all to make your own bingo card for Peace Talks, share it on your social media, here's the hashtag, and then we're gonna pick out somebody to send a copy of Battleground to. And I was just like, oh, that is so cute. I was so excited. And I responded to News at Jim Butcher on Twitter. I was like, oh, thank you. It's so cute. There's literally no better feeling in this world than to love the work of an author so much, and you in turn put a lot of work into something to show your appreciation, and that author sees that. Another friend of mine kindly reached out to Priscilla on Reddit to thank her for everything that she's done for the fans' entertainment and for taking the time to just give back to the community and just stay on top of things and make sure we all feel connected. And she said, she replied, and she was like, hey, we were just so happy to be able to reward her creativity. It was Jim's idea, the prediction bingo contest. And I was like, that means Jim Butcher saw my video. Best week ever. Crap. Now I'm gonna have to stop and fix this. Next up that I read is The Resurrectionist by Mattrel. I don't even know what was happening there. I think I combined his middle name and his first name. Next up that I read was The Resurrectionist by Michael Patrick Hicks. Wow. Okay, so this one is a historical cosmic horror, and he really took it there. These spider-like horror things, we didn't need to go there. Like, the detail, we didn't need that. I didn't need that. I did not need that. However, this story, freaking outstanding. Holy shit. I just cannot. I read the whole thing. The next morning, I ordered book 2, and I've already started it. And I'm actually buddy reading it with Brad Proctor, who, y'all know he's my favorite, right? You know how it is. Most of the time, the first book in the series is the best. Trying to really come up with the words to correctly convey this. This book is amazing. It is stellar. Book 2 is a continuation, and it's even better. I did not think there was any topping The Resurrectionist. I knew that book 2 was going to continue the story, and I had to know how it ended because it is an amazing story. But oh my gosh. Oh, I messaged Brad about the chapters I read yesterday. I cannot wait till he reads that and tells me his thoughts. These reviews, y'all, wow, I can't wait to get these up for y'all. Y'all know how shallow I am when it comes to book covers. I had to have these in print because these covers are absolutely freaking amazing. Keelan Patrick Burke is responsible for these covers, and he just outdid himself. I'm not sure how many books are going to be in this series. I know there's a 3rd book coming. I hope it is available very soon. I'll keep you posted. Every week, I think, man, that was the best week of reading ever. And then the next week is an even better week of reading, and it just keeps getting better. I just don't know what to do with myself except to keep going, keep reading. It's out of my hands. I just gotta keep going. All right, enough about what I read last week. I'm ready to hear what you guys read. Drop me a comment below. What was your favorite read from last week? What have I not read that you've read that I need to read? Hook me up, drop me some knowledge. Have a great week, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.